Have you ever start your day with a long to-do list and then ended up doing all the little things around the house and finish your day in bed thinking that you don't know where the time went? Well, you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. And it's not because you were lazy this day. It was just because you didn't have a clear plan. And so today we're going to talk about intentional planning. We're going to go over 5 strategies that you can use that really helps making sure that you are filling your days with the things that truly matters and that helps you move the needles toward your big goals. But first, I want to tell you a little story about something a client shared with me on a Power Hour call. She decided on Sunday night when doing her planning for the week that this upcoming week she would color as the things that she's going to do for herself. But she didn't really plan it in her calendar. It was more of an intention to do it. And then during the week, she found herself one day super overwhelmed and she just wanted to give up and be done with all of this. And then her brain gave her the idea of well, now is the good time to do the things that you said you were going to do for yourself. So she stopped and then she went and found her coloring book and colored for a few minutes. And it resets her entire day, if not her entire week. And this is intentional planning. This is what we do when we are intentionally looking at our week and then planning for the things and giving our brain ideas on what we want to accomplish. So this is a reminder that the goal is not just to fill our calendar with stuff, it's to fill our calendar with things that make sense to us and making sure that what is in our schedule are really the things that we want to do and that we know are important and that will help us get closer to our goals. The first strategy is reflection, because life is gonna throw curveball at you all the time. We're gonna have surprises. The unknown is a real thing. And making sure that we regularly reflect on what happened, what we did, what worked, and what didn't is really important. Having a system that helps you do that regularly, either every day or at least once a week, really helps with making sure that we understand where our life is at and help us decide where we want to take it. This is the time when you reflect. This is what keeps you grounded in real life and understand where you are at, what season you're in. Because if you keep putting things on your to-do list and they're not getting done, this is a sign that your ideal to-do list, what you are putting in there, is not aligned with either the time that you have, the energy that you have, or the things that are a real priority right now in your life. So first, reflecting regularly on your tasks and your to-do list is super important. The second thing is clarity, and that's really for planning. And we don't have time to go over this in details, but I linked the video about top 3 priorities so you can check it out. But basically, having 3 priorities for your week, 3 goals, 3 main things that you want to achieve for your weeks really helps you stay on track. And you need to make sure that these are the things that are going to help you reach your goals and that are aligned with your long-term vision of your life. The next thing is alignment, because whatever you put in your calendar, if it doesn't make sense to you, if it doesn't bring you joy, if it doesn't have a real reason, this is the first thing that's going to go when the unexpected is going to show up. And so we want to make sure that what we put in our calendar really has a good reason in our mind and that really makes sense. So it's a lot of thought work around the tasks, especially if you identify a tasks when you're doing your reflection. When you identify a tasks that is there again and again and again every week, you can really take the time to think, why is this task going first, like why I am not showing up for this task, and try to work around your mindset towards this specific task. And so you need to make sure that what you actually put in your calendar is aligned with your bigger goals and that is aligned with the season of life you are in right now. Then we go into structure, and that's where everything comes together. And that's what changed everything for me when I created something that really helps me show up every single week and create the habit of going through this framework that really helps me do everything that we just talked about. And so creating something that really is helping you every day reflect and plan. In Calendar Success, I share the Power Hour planner. That is the planner that I created that really helps put everything together. But it could be just something that, like a paper planner that you bought or like an app that you use. The idea is to have a framework that you are used to and that you are excited to go back to every single week. For me, I do it on Sunday night. It's my power hour, and I go through my planner. And when I don't do that, I feel so weird now. I've been doing it for years, and it's just a habit that I created. And when I'm not doing it, I know that my week is going to be chaos. But mostly, I don't feel good on Sunday night when I go to bed because I feel like there is something missing. So there is a real power in creating a structure, a habit for you to go over all this process. And then the last step, the last strategy that is super important is flexibility. Because if you feel restricted in the habit or the structure that you create, you're not going to want to do it. So we need to have flexibility for life to happen, because it's just why life is fun, right? Because we have surprises, because not a day is the same, not a week is the same, and that's what makes life so exciting. So we need to have still flexibility around our time. Planning doesn't mean to be rigid. You can have this structure and yet enjoy life and not have a super strict schedule. And so once you have all of this set up, you'll stop second guessing yourself, because you'll know that you have a plan and that everything has its own space and that it's intentional and that it makes sense to you. You'll stop chasing busy work because you'll know that what are the things that needs to be done that truly matters. You will feel way more focused and less overwhelmed. And who doesn't want less overwhelm, right? So by creating the system for yourself of intentionally planning your week, you are creating more freedom for yourself. And it will be easier to follow through as well, because things are going to make sense to you. And so that's what we want to do when we are intentionally planning. It's not being in the schuld and like being in what other people expect or what you saw somewhere or like what you read. It's really what works for you because you intentionally decided and it makes sense in your brain to show up for these things. In a nutshell, you don't need a perfect plan. You just need a plan that feels aligned. And that's what is going to create the momentum. That's what's going to help you show up every day and not feeling just busy and like the day got away from you, because you intentionally planned the things. And even if you didn't put it in your calendar, you created this intentionality when you sat down and planned for your week.